Hello everyone, Time to Grind here, and today I wanted to talk about Spellbreak. And Spellbreak is a battle royale game where instead of having guns and normal weapons, you play as wizards with crazy different elemental spells. And the game's been out for a couple of months, but it just recently came out on Steam, and since myself and a lot of other people play games mainly on Steam, I thought it'd be kind of fun to try it out and make a review for you all. And so overall the game is being very well received on Steam with hundreds of positive reviews, but I have to say, in my honest opinion, I think the game's kind of just mediocre. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying the game is bad. In fact, I absolutely love the concept of the game. You know, I love the idea of a magic spell-slinging battle royale with lots of mobility and everything, but the game just doesn't execute it well enough in order to make me think it's worth it. And I will say that most of my complaints with the game are things that could be improved over time. You know, so if you enjoy this game, I'm not trying to say you shouldn't like it or it's the worst game ever. Just for me, the flaws of the game, in my opinion, kind of drag it down for me, but it might not be bad for you guys. So the first big thing I want to talk about with the game is just the core gameplay itself. You know, the actual spell slinging and jumping around and stuff like that are pretty good just by themselves. You know, the different elemental attacks feel unique from each other, and being able to mix different elements in the world is pretty cool. The game, though, is definitely on the floaty side, so there's tons of ways for characters to be flying all over the place and blinking, you know, back and forth, and every character can also levitate just kind of like a jetpack using some of their mana. So it did get a little annoying at times, just people flying all over the place, but overall, because you have these like magical abilities and not like just guns that, you know, are really, you know, precise, it's not that bad because a lot of your attacks will actually hit the enemy even if you know, aim it in the air, and there's some types of magical abilities that are better for hitting people in the air than not, so it kind of, you know, promotes the different play styles and stuff like that. So the floatiness is something I could kind of get over and actually could enjoy once I kind of like learned the spells and stuff like that. The only other thing I have with combat is it isn't the most satisfying to me. You know, I think it needs like more feedback potentially when you hit someone, or just overall the spells having more weight to them, because overall it just does kind of feel like you're both just spamming abilities on top of each other, which can be fun, you know, especially when the abilities are cool, but I just think that the, you know, gameplay could use a little bit more weight to it, if that makes sense. My other huge complaint I have with the game is just its pacing. It's one of those battle royales which has an absolutely giant map, and you spend about like 80% of the gameplay just walking around, looking through loot, and being completely alone. And then when you actually find someone, there's some decent gameplay. You know, it's not perfect, but it's fun, like I was just talking about. And then when that fight is over, you go back to spending several minutes finding another opponent, you know, to kill, and then 4 more minutes of just nothing. And there are squad modes like Apex, and that, you know, helps a little bit, but not enough to make it like overall awesome for me. And the game even has a 9v9 TDM type mode where it's supposed to be faster paced, but for some reason you start still on that giant map and you have to wait like 5 minutes for the circle to actually get small enough where the fights are consistently happening over and over and over. And once you get to that point, you know, there's some fun to be had with the decent gameplay, but it's like they just took the Battle Royale mode and then changed the rules slightly. It's honestly boring to have to wait 5 minutes every time you play the mode for just the mode in itself to start. And I know you're getting loot in that process, but the looting in the game is just so boring to me. I've played so many battle royales, and the only ones that can keep me interested are the ones that are faster paced and have way streamlined looting systems, because otherwise, like I said earlier, I'm spending 80% of the gameplay doing practically nothing. And you know, I do come from the fast-paced world of arena and arcadey shooters like COD and Quake, but I have also played tactical shooters like CSGO, and you know, in tactical shooters, even though it does have slower gameplay, you're kind of actually doing things while doing it. You're setting up choke points, you're setting traps if you're playing, you know, games like Rainbow Six and stuff like that, but the downtime in this game is just going from chest to chest to chest, picking up items that are slightly better than the ones you already have. So the looting system in this game combined with all of the downtime practically kill the Battle Royale mode for me. Also, the map in itself is just overall kind of bland and uninteresting in my opinion. And you also have all these battle passes and expensive costumes, and the game's free to play, so I definitely expected that, and I'm not hating on the game because it has cosmetics, but I just, you know, if I don't enjoy the game, I'm not going to enjoy the cosmetics as well, so I'm probably not the best person to, like, review these cosmetics, but they kind of look, you know, run-of-the-mill like any other of these type of, you know, free-to-play battle royales with your different, like, costumes and, you know, emotes and stuff like that, dances, and so overall, Spellbreak is just a mediocre battle royale to me. You know, the concept and even the core gameplay itself, you know, aren't bad, but the slow gameplay and the boring looting system just make the game very mediocre to me. But if you guys have enjoyed Spellbreak, I can totally understand why you guys might, especially with, you know, the cool concept and everything. So if you have played Spellbreak and you actually do enjoy it, you know, I would love to know some of the things you guys, you know, genuinely enjoy about the game. And on the flip side, if you guys have played the game and don't enjoy it as much as a lot of other people like me, I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts as well. And if you enjoyed this video, then consider leaving a like down below and subscribing to see more content. I make about 3 to 6 video reviews and Let's Plays a week, and I live stream most Saturdays, so subscribe and ring that bell like all the big boy YouTubers say if you want to see those in the future. Also, if you can't get enough of me, I have a podcast called Neon Apes where I just talk about funny and stupid hypotheticals with some friends. So like last episode we were talking about whether the Trix Rabbit or like Toucan Sam would win in a fight. So, you know, check that out if that sounds entertaining at all. But if you do enjoy Spellbreak and you're going to be grinding out some games of it, I wish you all luck and see you guys next time.